Good evening, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we will go, well, straight over to the charts. We'll go straight over to the charts. Obviously, the most important one of them all, the DXY, as you can see, is currently in the process of falling out of bed. This is what we've been looking for. This has basically been my prediction, been my call since forever, basically, since we entered this macroeconomic regime. But yeah, basically, yeah, even with this head fake up to here, that was just testing us. It was just testing our metal with a higher low, a lower high, and yeah, currently capitulating. We had an attempt at this trend line we were looking at yesterday, this trend line and this trend line, and we were rejected. Came down to the next trend line, tried to get supported there, next horizontal, tried to get supported, lost that level, and it was subsequently curtains. So where do we go from here? Where do we go? Because this is not far off a 90 handle. With basically the 91 handle being pretty unbelievable. Well, I guess you guys know where I think we're gonna go. I think we spoke about it even this morning or last night's video, but yeah, we're going down to 88s, I believe. I believe we'll see what happens. We have still got plenty of opportunity, though. There is nothing really support-wise in this zone, but we have got, there's always a potential just to reverse an arbitrary spot in the move down. I mean, anywhere, even a pullback anywhere up to even up to this 93 level, I mean, would still look bearish. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that, because this is the big driver of the market. Someone did ask in the chat about why people look at the DXY. I'm guessing they noticed more people looking at the DXY recently, with how weak it's been looking at. But I think you guys know that we look at this basically every video, don't we? Pretty much, because it is just the main driver. There is a saying in finance: if you get the dollar right, you get everything right. It is basically the be all and end all of everything, of all markets. The price of the dollar, basically. So yeah, that is obviously having a nice impact on silver. Silver was looking potentially weak. This looks to me like that has the potential to slingshot to the upside now, potentially even get to that $30 level. We had a good test below, swiftly rejected. We're obviously only looking at a 4 hour here. Swiftly rejected, bought back up, and you would expect there to be significant momentum in this move. First and foremost, though, is get back above this horizontal and start to trade out this range. But realistically, I mean, well, tentatively speaking, I mean, it's early days. Realistically, based on further dollar weakness, I would expect this to, yeah, just potentially get to that elusive $30. Now, I'm not as convinced with my bet as I was before, with getting to $30 silver before 30,000 BTC. I did speak about this the other day with my friend, and I basically pointed out, at the end of the day, if you win this bet, you got lucky, basically. And he did admit he got lucky, because let's face it, we traded 29.888 something, basically. So we were, for all intensive purposes, we got to $30, and I was indeed correct, and Bitcoin was indeed a lot lower. So yeah, I mean, he may win on a technicality of we didn't quite touch the $30 here, even though basically I was right for the move to $30. I mean, round it up to the nearest, basically, round it up to, well, yeah, just round it up and we're there. Anyway, I'll stop talking about that. Gold as well. Gold having a nice move, but obviously gold not having as nice a move. So I'll show you in a second, the gold silver ratio is further capitulating. Don't tell Tone Vase, because well, I guess he never did it, but he wanted to sell his silver for gold at the height of the gold silver ratio. But yeah, gold has got this level. It needs to retake this level. Maybe it's gonna come back up, retreat from this level, form an inverted head and shoulders, and then catapult its way back up, well, heading towards 1900. We'll keep an eye on that. I believe gold has had a nice enough correction now. If you look at it, the from this move here to up to this move here, I mean, we have actually overshot the halfway point. So yeah, potentially even around a 618 level. I am never very good at drawing these fibs, and I'm not even a massive I don't massively look at fibs anyway. But I'm going to see if I can get the fib on here just to see if we are practically did get back to a 618. So if we take it from basically down here to up here, oh wow, we well past the 618, but yeah, but we actually just basically tagged the 786, which if we are going to have a more aggressive retrace, obviously the 786 is the next Fibonacci level. So I mean, that is literally bang on where we got to, the 786. So yeah, again, it's not necessarily something that I use. I just use more just like the midpoint of the overall move. It's just a more basic, a more easy way of looking at it. We don't have to try and get fancy with Fibonacci numbers. I wouldn't even call 50% a Fibonacci number anyway. It's just basically halfway. But that's kind of what I observe anyway. But yeah, but if we do want to look at the fib 786 retracement, and we're currently back testing the 618. 618 being the main one for retracements. 618 has figured in a lot of Bitcoin's moves as well. But yeah, so anyway, that is gold and silver. Ethereum is still chopping around in the Satoshi pairing, not really making much direction either way. Had a swift move up and down, obviously with Bitcoin's movement today. Bitcoin dominance looking like we could potentially break to the upside here, which is not going to be good for alts. But I mean, so far as actual Bitcoin price movement, that could mean a big move up or a big move down. But yeah, potentially signaling something here. And the Ethereum USD pairing, well, if we extend this horizontal that we had, you can pretty much see we back tested it to the absolute penny. So yeah, obviously good level to have drawn in there. But yeah, so as you can see, we had a nice little hunt above, and then as that wick got rejected, that's usually what will trigger more downside, and it did indeed trigger more downside. I mean, this is textbook chart patterns. Candlestick trading, candlestick analysis. We had the wick above resistance. As soon as it got rejected, as soon as we started trading lower than that wick, sell. But you'd have to be, well, you wouldn't have to be quick, actually. The candle still basically closed here and then traded lower anyway. But yeah, nice. It's just a nice looking move within the context of our set parameters, our set levels. Just kind of shows that we've got the right levels drawn in. So that is good to see. Right, over to Bitcoin now. We haven't even discussed Bitcoin yet. So yeah, so Bitcoin. We have had this longer term trend line drawn in for a while, and we've had it done in quite thick. So I mean, it's problematic. It is problematic, guys, because you guys understand the concept of breaking below, back testing, getting rejected, and then it being the big move down. Obviously the inverse, we look at the break above, the back test, and then the continuation upwards. You guys will know I'm not a massive fan of trend lines. I prefer horizontals, but you do have to look at this as a loss of this trend line, a substantial back test, which has subsequently been rejected. So that is a warning flag. That is, not to mention the fact it is at an actual horizontal resistance that we have as well, which I obviously, you guys know I prefer horizontals. Does this mean we are going to come back down to at least this bottom level, and then actually potentially put in a lower low to here? I mean, I know that a lot of you guys won't want to hear that, and two, just point blank won't believe that, but because we are so talented, like, well, I guess we've hit all-time highs, I guess, have we? Yeah, pretty much. Have we? Well, sort of. I mean, anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. You guys won't really want to believe, hear, or think that, but it's on the table. This is on the table, guys. This move, this is a breakdown, a back test, and then you wouldn't just potentially just expect it to come back down and double bottom. Also, you guys will know we don't really believe in double bottoms. Not that this is double bottom, because it isn't the bottom, but yeah, I mean, you could definitely see this taking out this level, and you could definitely see this coming around to the 14k level, and you could definitely see the absolute calamity that would cause, and you could definitely see that the majority of the market does not think that would happen, and when the majority of the market does not think something will happen, well, you guys can probably finish that sentence. But that being said, we have been bought up pretty strongly on these wicks so far, but we still have a downward trajectory. So not necessarily looking the best. But yeah, but if we are indeed to get rejected and here we come down, there is every likelihood we can get basically picked up at this level, or near this level, or even this mid level here, and then yeah, and just continue on bullish. There is every opportunity for that. So yeah, and obviously you guys know that I am looking for a potential just a range to play out, a sideways range, and this is the one we have now currently decided upon. So I would at least expect some sort of decent bounce at this level if we are to come down here, even if it is to only back test, say, this level and come back down. But it doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to be like that. We can still break up from here. We can still break up. We are tantalizingly close to just basically blue sky breakout and price discovery. So I struggle to see the people that are potentially in control of these markets not just popping us up there to have a look, see what happens. But yeah, yeah, just warning signs, really. Warning signs, in all fairness, because the market is super bullish. Lots of people would not even expect to see 16.5k, let alone 14k. I doubt many people expected to see pretty much 18k today either. But one thing I have learned in all my experience with Bitcoin particularly is that it just will do things. It will continually do things you don't expect it to do. This is how this rolls. Don't forget we are on a monthly 9, and it is currently well, I mean, I can't remember. We're basically less than 1 day into a 30-day candle, so we can't read too much into it. But monthly 9, be aware, nothing on the bi-weekly. Yeah, and obviously weekly 9, weekly indecision candle did come in. Currently not closed a weekly above basically this previous weekly. So according to how I interpret the TD, the most conservative way of a continuation move to the upside is for a weekly candle to close above basically the high of the last of the weekly 9 here. So even if this candle comes down here, the next one comes down here, and then as soon as we close the candle above this weekly 9, that indicates continuation to the upside for me. So obviously we've not done that yet. So weekly 9 slightly problematic. The 5-day though, obviously that criteria I just mentioned, we pretty much met it on this candle here, but met it at resistance, and this is just one time frame for a TD. 5-day had proved pretty good in the past, but I mean, it's not proving the greatest at the moment. You could have been looking for shorts though this whole time and been having some profitable trades as long as you were shorting basically resistance, which is, I mean, why else would you short anything else? But yeah, so 5-day as well. Now we'll have a quick look through the stochastics. See how they're looking. I mean, yeah, 4-day looking like it is. We'll get rid of this. This was just that aggressive 12-hour trend line. But yeah, 4-hour is clearly coming down. Got room to run. These are the important ones though. This 10-hour and this 12-hour. These are the ones that were telling me that if we did get moves down like we got, we were going to get bought back up again. And that is basically what has happened thus far. And 12 hours still got room to run as well, and daily is well, not turned back up yet. I did meant to say 10 hours still got room to run, but 10 hours got room to run, 12 has got room to run. Daily still looking to try and curl back up. 2-day looking to, well, these guys are just looking to hang on in up there. Someone did tell me the monthly Stokes was looking looking exhausted, but this definitely isn't looking exhausted. This is looking fine. Yeah, all in all, things are looking like we can still try and hang around at this top level. We still got upward momentum. Clearly the 10-hour and 12-hour Stokes are telling us that. Clearly these wicks are telling us that, but eventually those 10 and 12-hour Stokes will top out, potentially start to curl down, and then we'll maybe come and revisit the bottom of the range. Obviously the flip side clearly is well, just basically all-time highs and into blue sky breakout price discovery. So yeah, that's basically my views. Yeah, just be aware this trend line we've had in here for a long time break, and obviously look at the acceleration on that break. I mean, as soon as we broke that candle, as soon as we broke this trend line, that is when we did get the most part of the big move down. Was the biggest red candle we've had on a 12-hour basically since probably here, so early September. So yeah, that trend line is looking to be efficacious. And we have basically back tested it, got rejected. We are trying to come back and retake it again. So if we do retake this trend line, then yeah, things will be looking a lot better. And I mean, that is pretty much going to coincide with the breakout of this resistance as well. So multiple factors there. So yeah, we are at an important level. I mean, I feel like I say this way too often, but we are at an inflection point. Bitcoin just loves its inflection points, doesn't it? But we are in a slightly larger time frame inflection point here. A more important one, and that could signal bigger moves to either the upside or the downside. So that is it, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always DYOR, do your own research, and I will speak to you guys in the morning.